in a mini way, in a micro way, what you're doing through kind of being real and treating people, you're creating an in-group, right? You're creating an in-group with that other person. You're inviting them in to be part of something with you, which means they are immediately more positively predisposed to work with you.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
I would say that I have an addictive personality, which not for everything, like, weed and stuff like that doesn't, I know some people, they just have more of a biological, like a physiological pull to certain things.
Right.
But I think if I'm really, really, really honest, what I replace drinking with partially, not fully, is work.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I work a lot more, and that was kind of how I transitioned to not working in a way. I can remember thinking, oh, well, if I have a drink, then I won't work for one drink. Okay, a couple more. Right. I won't work for the rest of the night. It was almost like giving myself permission to turn off the work.
Yep.
And now I don't. It's kind of interesting to say this out loud. I don't turn off the work as easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say, and I just said this on a podcast I was on earlier today or yesterday. If someone said to me, what is the number one recommendation you have to anyone with ADHD who, let's assume they have a diagnosis, putting aside medication, because I think that's a different topic. I would say, what would be your number one recommendation? I'll tell you mine. You can only give one. What would it be? Yeah. If you had to give advice, like, here's the one thing I recommend you do since you have ADHD, what would it be?
I would say that you need to research everything you can and learn everything about it.
Okay.
Because you'll be interested in it because you'll focus on it. And
the act of that is exactly ADHD, right? Like
everything.
Act of like research,
you become
everything.
An expert.
I would say, I would definitely say, like, fill that time, fill that void, like that numbing, like it's a superpower. And I know you said that earlier, but like, it really is a superpower if it's funneled, right? And just funnel it into everything good.
I like that.
The actions of the good of whatever you want to be, do the actions of that type of person and funnel all of that psychotic, crazy stuff in your head into that. So if it's working out, researching, putting time into your business, like, dude, for me, when I got sober, I went 1000% into business, and I did it so much that it was like a compulsive thing. But you know what? It was a lot better to do that at that time, and it netted a great result for me. And then it eventually gave me margin to be able to work on other things and then pull back from that. But like, dude, funnel it into good stuff, just not bad stuff.
Yeah, I think those are both great answers. I would say, and I think I'm answering it a little bit differently. If I could give one piece of advice, it would be exercise every day.
Yes. Yeah.
I notice a huge difference if I don't exercise. And interestingly, have you ever heard of Tracy Otsuka's ADHD for Badass Women? No, Smart Ass Women. That's her podcast. And she and I were talking about it. And when I was a guest on her show, and she said, I have to exercise first thing in the morning in order to like get centered. And not me. That's my best work time, right? Early, like 7 to 10 is when my brain is just, that's the best time to do thinking work. But I need the exercise every day, almost like to keep the engine humming. In here. I don't need it to lift off in the morning, but I need it to regulate.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I started working out. So when I quit drinking, I started working out and completely replaced the drinking with working and working out. And I was going back to school full time. I was trying to get my my BA, and I was going to school full time, and I was working in the restaurant industry, and I was working more than full time during the week. And then I also had 2 kids, working on a third, and eventually
he's the first man to have 2 kids.
So, but like, I remember, so the last time I drank, I just saw the picture. It was like 8 or 9 years ago. It was a glass of wine, and I was down to like only 1 glass of wine or 2 glasses of wine. Like, I down to that much. But like, I had this realization. I was like, I still don't feel 100% the next day. I said, like, if I'm going to do all this stuff, I cannot not feel 100%, because at this point I am more than at least 16 hours of work a day. So I need to, every minute of that day, I need to be firing on all cylinders. And it was the working out that got me through that. Then I backed off of working out at one point, and then I threw out my back because I was still operating like I was working. And then ever since then, I've been working out since that little section of not working out, because you get through your day, and it helps you regulate like your thoughts and everything else.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I want to change my answer. Mine was terrible.
What's your answer, Greg?
It's develop a mindfulness practice, right? I know it's like a buzzwordy, but like I was introduced to meditation right when in the first week that I stopped drinking. You know, I went somewhere and all that. But that's been a game changer for me. I know that if I don't meditate, it's a different Craig that shows up, right? I mean, Jason knows it. Like, you know, you can tell when it's frantic, crazy Craig, or it's chilled out, meditated Craig. And it could be as quick as 5 minutes, which is it's so insane that everybody doesn't meditate every single day, multiple times a day. Like it's 5 minutes and it's just breathe. All you have to do is breathe and focus on your breath and just become present.
You know, I have a very consistent meditation practice, and I also am like super non-judgy about apps and all that stuff. There are some people who are very judgy about using apps, but I'll tell you who I love: Sam Harris's Waking Up.
He's cool. Sam's
yeah. And
I had to get over his voice. It kind of bothered me a little bit.
Oh, really? I love his voice.
But now I like him. Yeah.
He has an introductory course, 28 days.
Yep.
Which, by the way, if either of you want to take it, I can give you access for free because I'm now a subscriber. And I redo it. I redo that intro course about once a year.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
And if you want to go even further, it's like what's that word? Like the triumvirate? Is that a word? It means threes of
triangle.
Andrew Huberman, Rich Roll.
Triad.
Oh, triad. No, it's Ferris, Rich Roll, and Andrew Huberman. That's it. That's like
Huberman's awesome.
He has an episode from several months ago now of Sam Harris on talking about meditation. It's 2 hours long, and it is worth every minute. 1.5 speed. Everything 1.5 speed.
Oh yeah.
But
I like 2.
But really
I do too if I had enough coffee.
It's really good. He said it's not like, you know, that image of you meditate and you watch the clouds go by. Well, he says, you know, it's not like you're watching the river go by. You are the river.
Right.
And like, it's such a brilliant, it's really good. I really recommend it.
I love that.
And then you can go do a cold plunge drinking athletic greens before you do psychedelics, because that's all those guys talk about.
Well, we're not going to get into all that, but
do we have to talk about work?
Yeah. By the way, this entire interview is clearly we all have ADHD.
See what happens if we add a third.
Yeah. I will say this, going back to the 1.5 times. So like I'll listen to almost anything at 2 times, right?
Oh, and I can't do that.
I can do 2. Yeah.
What about Russell Brunson at 2
do 2.5 and then 2 becomes easy. You know what I mean? Like just to like regulate yourself.
Wow.
Yeah,
Smart.
you do that. You work backwards.
Set yourself up.
Yeah, like I'll do that. You do that, and you're thinking this is psychotic, but you catch up to it, and you're like, I barely understand, and then you go backwards. And you're like, oh, this is easy now.
Oh, I might try that. I listened to one podcast. I don't listen to it that much anymore. The Daily, the New York Times one, and I only listened to it at 1.5. And one day I happened to hear it on 1, and I was like, what is wrong with him?
Yeah.
he's like in slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
1.5.
It's funny because I'll catch myself. So I listen to things at 2 times speed, and then I'll be doing something, right? And then all of a sudden, things in the real world start getting chaotic, but I'm listening to this thing really fast, and all of a sudden I'm like, ah! And I'm like, take it off. Like I have to like eject from it because it's like too much. But there's a good level of where it's not too much. And
that's
like
the opposite of meditating.
Yeah, it totally is.
Well,
that is the opposite.
Well, yeah, like multitasking, monotasking. Yeah, it is. I personally am a big believer in multitasking, but I'm trying not to do it when I talk to people.
Yeah.
That's when it matters, right?
Yeah. And I would say too, like I think for us with ADHD, I think you need that sometimes, right? But there are times that it's like, okay, I need to focus on this one thing, so I'm just going to go hog wild and fast. And then you like when you need to get that project done or those emails or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to sort of say something semi-serious, I really think of ADHD. This is I think in framework as kind of the profound and the practical. And the profound is some of the stuff we've talked about, retelling, reframing your narrative, retelling your story, looking back and like rewriting, oh, I'm not a loser. It's just my brain is wired different. And kind of for me, getting the diagnosis was such a relief. And I felt equipped to make changes, it wasn't an excuse. It was information that I then had a responsibility to act on. Yeah. But so there's this like what I would call like this whole profound piece.
Yeah.
And then there is like we beat ourselves up a lot. And then there is what I would just say the practical. You got to pay the taxes. You got to do the laundry. You got to get the kids to baseball practice on time.
Right.
And you kind of like that's why ADHD coaching in a lot of ways, like executive function coaching, is really the practical, which is great. And sometimes the coaches are too, let's retell your story and blah, blah, blah. But you need both because they both build your confidence, like letting go of all this shame and shit. Yeah. But you also need scaffolding, my favorite word, to get stuff done because that becomes a habit loop that really builds you up.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? Like the frame is so interesting. So society came up with the way that we learn, right? Which is not for us. It's for the muggles out there. It's for the other people. And because we don't fit into that box, it's like, we're pushed out. We're told that we're doing things wrong or whatever.
Why don't we get our own bathroom?
But then it's like
I don't know if you can say that. Sorry.
It's like I love it. It's like reframing it. Like, what if, now I look at it like I truly look at like I have a superpower. So I operate like I do. You know what I mean? I'm not like other people.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm like proud to not be like other people. I tell my kids that you guys are not like other people.
It's almost like there's an operating manual, like an instruction manual that was handed out to everybody when they were born. And they gave us the wrong one.
And they told us that we're not the right. Yeah.
Right. Like, here, use this. It's really like, no, these instructions don't work.
The wrong instruction
they're following the instructions. They don't work. I don't understand. I can't read them. And then I throw them away.
And it's all man-made, right? So who gets to decide that was the right manual and the manual that was for me is the wrong one? Just because we're the minority, right? We're the minority in the situation. So And I think that becomes real interesting, especially let's bring it back to like our teams and coaching our staff and everything else. You know, whatever frame we put them in really becomes the reality. Right. And the frames that they believe, like, so like coaching our agencies and having our teams work together. It's really important to not do kind of that framing in the wrong way, and then having them start to believe these things that, you know, that they're not good at this and that they can't do this. And the next thing you know, you have an office full of people that are just feeling like crap. And then they operate like crap.
Well, in my book, which are we ever going to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about the book.
No, in my book,
the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah. No, but there's a framework. And by the way, have you read the book Steal Like an Artist?
No.
Oh my God, you've got to
Steal Like an Artist?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
It's so brilliant. And it's, by the way, like a comic novel. So not novel, you know, a lot of graphics. You'll read it in like 30 minutes. It's good for ADHDers. And it's so brilliant. And basically the point is there aren't really new ideas. Just you can steal old ideas and then make them your own and attribute and do all this. And it's such a beautiful book. Well, that's kind of what my whole book is. And there's one framework in it about how to build a cohesive team. And, you know, it really is so critically important. Like for me, the more I coach, and the data shows it too, the more I coach, skills are important, but the basis of everything is that we can see each other as humans. And when we can see each other as humans, we can say that creates trust. That creates psychological safety, which then means we can move faster. We can make decisions faster. We can give inputs and insights each way because there's a safety net. And we can all be more successful.
I love it. So true.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that, but like you definitely need to be conscious of that. And we were just talking to somebody about something along the same lines. I remember thinking, you know, when we teach our sales team, and I know this is a horrible analogy, but it's like it connects in my brain.
Why are you being so hard on yourself?
Yeah. It's like when our team gets on the phone to make a call for, you know, for insurance sales or whatever, all of a sudden they start sounding like a telemarketer. They don't sound like a human. It's not like talking to your friend. So we always say, dude, like, how do you talk to your friend? Right? Talk to other people that way. Talk to our clients that way, because essentially they are our friends, right? We're all on the same team. It's also kind of like when you get on camera, like we'll record YouTube videos or something, and all of a sudden you get on camera and you start talking like this person.
I know.
And it's like,
right?
It's like, what the heck are we doing? Yes. What are we doing? And we do that in so many different areas of our life. We have a personality that we think we need to be. We show up as that. We don't show up as people. And so it's like breaking down the walls of every different area in our life, that we don't show up like people. We're not treating people like people. Like we kind of have to let the guard down and just be ourselves and treat people for, you know.
Well, and you're making also an important like neuroscience point, which is what you want to do is in a mini way, in a micro way, what you're doing through kind of being real and treating people, you're creating an in-group, right? You're creating an in-group with that other person. You're inviting them in to be part of something with you, which means they are immediately more positively predisposed to work with you, to problem solve with you, because you created like common threads, you know, you're weaving common threads with each other, and that builds trust, and that builds feeling, oh, we're in this together. Like that's what the brain does.
I love it. So I know we've gone in a few different directions today.
Oh, a couple.
Which is fun, which is super fun. This is awesome. What did we not talk about that we need to discuss?
Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, the book. Well, no, let me just say this. I wrote this book because I would like to see executive coaching democratized, because it's really expensive and only a few people get it. And it's awesome and it makes a difference. And, you can, it really can be very powerful. But what do you do if either you can't afford it, or you're not ready, or it doesn't fit in your life in some way? So I wrote this book because I literally use the same 12 frameworks over and over and over. I use other tools as well, but I used one this morning right out of the book. And the client had ordered the book, and I said, "Oh, I'll send you the PDF of that chapter because you need it. You're going into mediation tomorrow." And so what it is saying, here's my gift for $27. Here's my gift. Here are my go-to coaching frameworks that I use primarily with C-suite folks, but they're evergreen, right?
Right.
And you can take them if you are motivated, if you are curious and on a learning mindset journey, professionally and personally. You can take these frameworks and you can take the way I've served them to you with questions and case studies, and you can move quite far forward all on your own. So that's what I want someone to have this on their shelf and say, "Oh God, I got to talk to my boss about like my comp package. Oh, what's that framework about like having a critical conversation?" Boom. Or,
Boom.
"Oh man, wait, these guys are fighting on the team, but wait, there's that other framework. It's about like what cascades down. Oh yeah, are we clear about our roles and responsibilities?" Grippy. It's like a little DIY friendly reference book that you kind of pick up when you have a need.
Love it. And that is definitely applicable to any insurance agency owner. It's all the same skills. So I love it.
Yeah. Well, if you're managing people or you are being managed,
right.
It's the same toolkit turned around, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Managing up or managing down, right?
Yeah. Or across.
with
your fellow agents.
Jason has to manage across.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I'm older.
He is.
A bit.
Like a baby.
Well, Antonia, how does people get a hold of you, the book? I mean, obviously the Amazonian website.
There's
some good English in those last couple sentences there.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm proud of you.
Feed that beast. I have to feed that beast, the Amazon beast. So here's how you get hold of me. You buy my book either through my website or on Amazon.
I just bought it on Amazon.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, will you please leave me a review?
Yes.
I need reviews. That's the beast I have to fill. It's like shoveling food into the mouth of that beast.
I'm glad you bring that up because it's a perfect time to ask the listeners to go ahead and pop a review too, huh?
Oh, please.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would just be so happy, really. And okay, so that's the book. I'm on LinkedIn.
Cool.
You know, my name. Yeah, it's not that cool.
Antonia
Bowring. Yep. And then
from Canada.
I'm on Instagram, but I don't really pay too much attention to that. But and then I'm on TikTok.
TikToks.
Antonia Bowring 963. Oh, and I have a website where you can leave me messages or see all the articles I've written, or to take a little career coaching, like little series of webinars. Cool. And that is, by the way, if I was doing my website today, I would do it my name, but I didn't do that then. It's ab-strategies.com. That's
Baby
a
strategy.
lot of people can't spell strategies anymore because people
Maybe it's the
can't spell.
hyphen.
Yeah. Anyways.
What can you do?
Yeah. But you guys are too much fun. This was way too much fun. This was way too much fun.
This was awesome.
This is like a Rogan episode. We went long.
This was too much fun.
Well, I'm glad you had so much fun, and we're glad you were here, and we're really grateful for you being here.
Yeah, you guys are lovely. Really lovely.
You're fantastic. This is awesome. And I think a lot of value for the listeners too.
Yes.
There was some babble, but that's okay. Mostly us babbling.
Yeah, hey. I babbled a bit too. I've become very good at answering questions with what I want to say and not answering the podcast host question.
Politician-like. And I do like how you say, and when are we going to talk about my book?
Yeah.
I don't say that on all the podcasts.
But, you knew your audience.
Anyway. Yeah, you guys are lovely. Have me back anytime, and I will promise you I'll talk about like something super serious for the insurance industry.
Perfect.
Well, they get enough
serious.
of that.
We don't want serious.
That's what all the carriers' webinars are for.
I could talk about the actuarial science.
Nah.
No, I couldn't.
I think we need you to work on your set that you did over at the old folks home.
At the old folks home?
Yes.
Let's get you to do a 10-minute set up here.
Man.
It'll be our first comedy act on the show.
You can make fun of insurance agents. I would love it.
Yes. We should have a special segment.
All right. I stand up is a lot of work, and I had to stop it. My burgeoning career to focus on my book. But it might come back.
There you go. Well, let us know.
Can I tell you one joke? Can I tell you one joke?
Yes. Let's do it. Let's end it with
a joke. I love it.
Well, so it's kind of more like a thing. And so why does my 94-year-old mother-in-law eat organic eggs? Right? Why would you spend $8.99 to live longer when you're 94? Like, save some money.
That's right.
Yeah, and her birthday's coming up, but I just decided she couldn't be on the planning committee because there's a 50% chance she won't even be there. And I'm also trying to make sure that we get like napkins and cups that don't say happy birthday, so that if there's like a funeral, we can, double dip in them and use them then. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
I like it.
Happy day.
Happy day.
Happy day. That was good.
How about happy blank day? And you can just write in.
Yeah.
With dry erase.
Or cheers. Just
cheers. I like that. Cheers. Yeah.
That was off the top of my head, by the way.
That's something awesome. else. You must have a Pentium over there.
What does that mean?
So it's an old
computer.
It's an old processor.
What does that mean? I'm an old processor?
I don't even know what it is.
Say, Craig.
Like,
we're gonna wrap this up.
Hey, everybody, had this really nice interview, and now you're wrecking it at the very end.
That's what I do. We went too long. It's like the Cinderella with the pumpkin. If we get after the 55-minute mark, then I just start saying nonsense.
Okay. All right. Listen, thanks. That was like so much fun. I can't even believe it.
It was awesome.
Thank you, Antonia.
Yeah. All right. How do I know when it goes live? Someone will tell me.
Yeah.
Your people will talk to my people.
Our people will talk to your people.
Perfect.